Hello. Can you hear me all right?
Yes. Hello. You can.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great. My name is Pedia. I'm the onboarding coordinator, so I'll just be in charge of walking you through the system and answering your questions.
Okay. We're very new to this, so we don't really know what to expect.
Yeah.
So basically, we kind of want to provide our tutors. So we've got around 12 tutors who we want them to start using TutorBird. So we really want to share kind of this video with them, showing all the functions that they could use as if that, them being tutors. So really we want you to kind of almost guide us around all the different functions that a tutor would have when using their own TutorBird login.
Okay, I see. So I was able to pull up the account that you have. So would you like me to go through from the admin perspective or from a specific teacher's perspective?
From a specific teacher's perspective.
Okay, and which one?
It probably really doesn't matter. Somebody
Okay.
who should we?
So it kind of depends on which privileges are set for each teacher will determine what we can actually see from their perspective.
Okay, so if we choose Beth,
Beth?
Beth is going to have the same privileges as all our other tutors except for 2 administrators.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so just so you know, we do record the session, so I can always provide that recording to you afterwards so you can send it to the rest of your team.
Brilliant, thank you, that's great.
All right, and I'm going to start a screen share right now of the account. Let me know if you can see that come up.
Yes.
Perfect.
Oh, that's clever. It's different.
Okay, so right now we're looking at Beth's perspective. So you can tell just by the name that appears at the top there. So for Beth, when she logs in, she can see how many active students has been assigned to her and how many lessons are coming up for the week. On the students page is where all of the student information will be. There are different columns that can be enabled if we need to look at certain information at a glance. So if we want to see the student's birthday, things like makeup credits, when their last lesson was, any groups they might be in, and so on.
Brilliant.
When you go into each student's account, here is where you'll see the information. They won't be able to, edit any of this, but they can see what the admin has put on here.
Fantastic. But just as a note for them, eventually on this tab, there will be a document added, which will be the initial consultation that will be transferred over there. So just so that our tutors know, the initial consultation document will be eventually added to this area.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Right. So just some more information on the family information, attendance and notes, any attendance that has been taken previously with any of the notes that was added.
Brilliant.
The study log. So when the student accesses the portal, if they record any study time or if they add any notes or send a message through the study log, it'll appear here.
Okay.
And then all of the message history will be under this tab.
Thank you.
So back to students, if you need to send them an email, you can always click on the checkbox to send multiple students an email. You'll click messaging and then email selected students, the parents, or both.
Brilliant.
All right, next we'll be looking at the calendar. So any lessons that have been scheduled will be put on this page. So you can either click new at the top of the page in the toolbar, you'll see these 3 options. Or if you click on any empty white space on the calendar, you will see the same 3 options here.
Okay, fantastic. So currently we're not asking tutors to add any sessions, so that will come through the administrator, but it's good that they can see what's in their calendar and what's coming up, and potentially any sessions that the admin have cancelled in terms of holiday.
Perfect. Okay. So if without scheduling lessons, they will still have the option to take attendance, and that will be done just by clicking on any lesson on the calendar, and then we'll see the attendance button. So any unrecorded attendance is still considered billable, so that, you know, if somebody has forgotten to take attendance, the student will still be charged and the business will not be losing out on that income because attendance was not taken.
Brilliant.
But of course, it is still very important to remember to take attendance, especially when it comes to the absences. So when you select absent, that's where you can choose if the student should be billed or not. So of course, depending on what your policy is, you would choose the correct option. So if the student gave enough notice as per the business's policy, you would choose not to bill or bill them for the absence. And then our third option here is bill and give makeup credit, which means that they will be charged for this lesson that they are absent for, but the system will issue them a credit worth the same 1 hour duration of this lesson. And then that credit can be used later on at a future lesson. So they'll be billed for the original absence, but not for the makeup.
Yeah, that's great. So currently we're just asking tutors to record if the session is present. We're not asking them to record absences because the administrator will be doing that. So we're asking them currently to contact us. Things may change in the future, but recording if they were present is what we're looking for them to do.
Perfect. So this is where that would come in present, and you can also indicate if the student was late.
Fantastic. And are there any comments at this point that they could put about each lesson?
Yes. So under the lesson details here is where all of the notes, the feedback, and the comments go about how the lesson went.
So this would replace our current session timesheet. Currently, we're asking tutors to fill in a session timesheet, but actually, when they start to record attendance, they can actually put the session notes in this area here. And is this saved against each individual session?
Yes. So the notes in this section will only apply to the lesson that is scheduled on this day at this time for this specific student.
As an admin, if I wanted to look at this student, for example, if their parent said to me, "Oh, what's Rosa been getting on with Beth?" Can I go on via my admin account to look at this, or do I have to log in via Beth?
You can see this from the admin perspective. So from an admin perspective, you'll see a page option that says tutors and admins.
Yeah.
On that page, if you go into Beth's teacher account, there will be a tab there for attendance and notes that has a historical record of all attendance taken for all of that teacher's students.
Oh, thank you. That's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, over here, if you want to, you have the option to email these notes out to the client or to yourself for records. So since Beth is the one logged in and taking attendance, clicking myself means that Beth is the one receiving the email of the notes.
Yep.
All right, back to the calendar. You can always print off your calendar if you would like a physical copy. And you can filter the calendar. So since there's a lot going on here with a bunch of different students, if you need to pinpoint a specific student's lesson, you can add their name to the filter, apply that, and it will remove everything except for that student's lessons.
Thank you.
And lastly, you can sync the calendar with your personal device. So by clicking this option, you'll see our different options here. You can sync the TutorBird calendar with your iPhone or Google Calendar. And this is just a one-way sync. So nothing from your personal device will show up on TutorBird here. It's just TutorBird to your personal device.
Thank you.
All right, any questions about the calendar before we move on?
No,
No, we're good.
so.
All right, so now we can go over to Lending Library. So this specific teacher has the ability to access the Lending Library. It looks like there isn't really anything in here right now. So whether or not you choose to use this feature, it is available. So this is kind of like having a mini library. You would put in any physical items that you would be handing off to a student for them to take home. So maybe a textbook or a piece of technology like a laptop or an iPad. You would put that in here so that you can log who has borrowed what and when it's due back.
Right. Tutors might want to use that.
I
They
do
need
that all
to.
the
Mhm. And then down here in online resources. So with a multi-teacher studio, teachers can have access to the shared space. This would be where all teachers can look at general business documents or really anything that has been uploaded for the entire studio's viewing. And then there's also the personal space so that Beth can upload any online resources that she would want to share to her student specifically, and the other teachers will not be able to access what has been uploaded to Beth's space.
So this is a place where she can upload resources for her students only.
Yes, exactly. So only the students that have been assigned to Beth will be able to see what's here. And of course, you can always further limit access. So if only a few of Beth's students need access to this document and not all of them, you can specify who should have access.
Thank you.
Because just so tutors are aware, eventually parents will be able to have their own Tutor login, and I'm guessing from that login they'll be able to access online resources.
Yes, exactly. And another layer to this is that anything uploaded to these online resources can be linked to the lesson notes that you record on the calendar. So let's say you put in a worksheet for, a typical homework assignment that you would give. If you have it uploaded here to the online resources, when you take notes on the calendar through the attendance feature, you'll have the option to link an online resource.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm. And to kind of further organize these resources, you have the option of adding different folders.
So you could have a folder for maths, for English, for spellings, things like that.
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Or even the different, if you have different grade levels, you need to, sort out the year 1 students, the year 5 students, you can put those in those different folders.
Okay, that's good.
Mhm. And then lastly, let's take a look at the settings. So under my preferences, this is where all of the personal information goes. If you need to, update an email address, change your password, update a phone number, that's where all of this comes in. So when it comes to, I'm not sure if your studio takes advantage of the registration or cancellations within the student portal. If that is something that you set up, you can have it so that each teacher can be sent an email if one of their students books an open lesson with that teacher.
Yeah, that's not something we're currently doing.
Okay. So it's not a mandatory feature, of course, but just for your own reference, there is that option here. All right, and then there is also the availability that you can set up. This does not affect much in the studio except for the calendar. When the admin is looking at the calendar under the day or the timeline view, the admin can see the availability here, and it will kind of be specific time blocks will be grayed out on the calendar from the admin perspective to reflect what the availability of that tutor is when they are going to schedule.
Okay.
Mhm.
I think I can see that Beth has already applied her availability because everything is grayed out except for the times in which she's available.
Mhm. So this won't really affect, the tutor can always still, or sorry, the admin can still schedule a lesson on a time that is grayed out because the teacher isn't available, but it's really just a visual indicator. So the admin can still schedule lessons against this availability.
Brilliant.
Mhm. All right, and that is about it for this teacher's perspective. Any help that they might need from the support team, they can reach us just by going to the help center and clicking contact us here. or they can just, look through some of our self-help articles. If there's a specific question about, attendance that they have, they can just type in that word and then look at what our different articles are. Yeah.
So if I was to log in and I needed to take attendance for the week and put my notes on, which is the quickest way to do that?
So sometimes it would be the homepage. So it looks like there's nothing on the schedule for today, but looking at tomorrow, all daily events will show up on the homepage as well. So if we know for sure, or actually let's look back at yesterday, that might be a better way to do it. So if we have, a bunch of lessons on this day for Beth, you can set everybody to the same attendance status all in one go. So if you know that all students were present, you would set them all to present here. Otherwise, you would just go to the calendar and then either pick the specific event, or if you click on the empty space of that day, you can take attendance for all events that fall on that day.
But to add session notes to each one, I need to go through the calendar.
I believe you can still add the notes. So when you click attendance, if you're going to record attendance in bulk, that's on the homepage. That can be done in bulk. But if you're going to put the notes in, then it would be best to do it individually, just so you can make sure that you're recording the correct notes for the correct student. So here, if we take attendance for the whole day at once, you do still have the option of clicking on this specific student, recording their attendance and the notes, and then moving on to the next student before you click save, so that you're still on the same page and you won't have to go back and forth between the individual lessons. They both show up on this page here.
Fantastic. I think that's really going to be helpful.
Yeah.
For teachers who have multiple students on the same day.
Yeah, that can replace our current thing as well. That would be nice and easy for them.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that we wanted to look at today?
I don't think we've got any other questions with regards to how the tutor uses the functions. We would like to speak to you separately with regards to our website, but we don't want it on the same recording. So we may need to book another onboarding session another time.
Yeah, that is absolutely fine.
Yeah, is there anything else?
I think that's it for this one. I think everyone will be happy with that. Oh, is there a way? We've asked if the tutors are happy for their emails to be shared, because at the moment, our current way, they've got Mrs. Farley's tuition email account, but Tutorbird is going to replace that. So we're going to cancel all of the business emails and they'll have to use their personal email accounts for Tutorbird. Is there any way they can keep that private from the parents? So apart from Tutorbird, people can't contact them, if that makes sense.
Yes, so that would be an administrator's task. So from the administrator point of view, under settings, they would have to go to business settings, which is not available to the other teachers, just admins.
Okay.
And in the business settings, there will be the option to hide teacher contact information from the portal.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Yeah, feel free to give us a call or send an email to the support team so we can give you more specific instructions.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think for today, that's plenty, because we're just getting to grips with Tutorbird and all of the tutors are just starting to get little bits of information from us. So that's perfect. Thank you.
Right. Okay, you're very welcome. So I'll just stop the share now. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for booking the session. And I guess we will see you again, since you do have some more questions for us later.
Yes.
And will this session be emailed to us, or do we have to download it somehow?
Oh, so I will send an email to you so that you have the link. So because the files generally are a bit large, I can't attach the video to the email itself. I have to give you a link so you can download it.
Thank you. That's great.
So just to confirm which email to send it to, would that be going to jessfarleyteaching@gmail.com?
Yes, please. Could you
Wonderful.
copy Nicola in as well, please? Do you have Nicola at Mrs. Farley's tuition there?
Let me see.
If not, I can always forward it on.
It might be in the original booking link, so I'll look for that. Otherwise, if I just send it to you, would you be able to forward it to Nicola?
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay,
Thank you.
wonderful.
That's great, thank you.
All right, you're very welcome. So I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Yeah, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.